State down here in Tennessee. We don't need y'all to talk about us because we're going to talk about ourselves.
Welcome back, everybody, once again to Titans Tube. My name is Justin, and this is Jake here with me. And thank the Lord, Jake. Oh, our prayers have been answered. I texted you after the game. It's just relief. I'm just relieved to finish playing for 60 minutes and for the Titans to come out on top, no matter how we got there. Our Titans got the job done on Sunday, 24-22 against the Las Vegas Raiders. First win of the season, and dropped the Raiders to 0-3, Jake. And I didn't realize after the game that, as it turned out, the loser of that game would remain the only winless team in the NFL to this point. So thank goodness we escaped that one. That would have been a struggle to deal with all week, just knowing that fact. But how are you feeling, Jake? We got a win, very up and down. How do you feel about the performance?
Yeah, definitely, Justin. You said the exact word I think all of Titans Nation is feeling, just relief. Yes, up and down, tale of two halves, as we've seen from this Titans club through 3 games so far this year. First half came out with their hair on fire. Opening drive touchdown percentage is 100%, Justin. But that second half offense needs a little work. But yes, despite that, the Titans came out on top on Sunday. I didn't care how they did it. People think the Raiders are a really good football team. Even at 0-3, I still think the Raiders are a really good football team. But man, it was just that 2-point conversion at the end. The defense stood up finally after getting gashed all second half. And I guess we can start there, Justin, is what's your level of concern with this defense? I mean, you have to acknowledge that a lot of players on this side of the ball are banged up. You don't have your 2 best pass rushers. You don't have Elijah Molden, which is your number 3 corner. And Caleb Farley, level of concern on him is very high because he played 1 defensive snap, Justin. 1 first-round pick, second-year guy, played 1 defensive snap. I mean, that they have no faith in Caleb Farley, I guess. But anyways, level of concern about this defense. I thought they were getting gashed all day on Sunday, even in that first half, but they did a good job standing up in the red zone. That's the one bright spot of this defense so far, I would say, is their red zone defense has been on par. But I don't know, Justin, what do you think overall about the game? I thought the defense showed a little shakiness, even though they are an injured unit.
Yeah, they certainly did. And like you said, They got it together. They tightened up, if you will, when it came down to the red zone, which has kind of been a calling card, really, of this defense for the majority of games throughout the season, going all the way back to even the Dick LeBeau era defense with Mike Mularkey. And yeah, we would get gashed here and there, but they would put the clamps on down like within the 20-yard line, and in this case, like within the 10-yard line several times. Yeah. They had to settle for a few real just chip shot field goals, which turned out to be huge for us. So got to give credit to the defense for stepping up big, especially at the end with the 2-point conversion. Oh man, nail biter, dude. Just did not need that. Unnecessary. But if the offense could have gotten anything going on their end, then maybe we wouldn't have to rely on the defense to have to put the finishing touches on it. But well, with this defense, you mentioned Caleb Farley. We can start there. That's probably one of the biggest talking points coming out of this game. Only playing 1 defensive snap. Everyone's kind of, now looking around like, man, this coaching staff just does not have any faith in Caleb Farley. And I guess, he hasn't played a whole lot. Yes, he had a really bad game against Buffalo, but you saw what the solution is. What we're finding guys on the streets. Terrence Mitchell, dude. Man, just getting mossed like all over the field by Mac Hollins, dude. I
texted you it was a Parrish Cox-esque performance, or Bleedy Ray Wilson, and you said, "Don't bring that evil." I said, "It wasn't me; it was Terrence."
He's the one that did did this to us. I mean, dude, Mac Hollins, 8 receptions, 158 yards, and 1 touchdown. He'll never touch those numbers again for the rest of his career. I would be surprised if he does. No, he's just not that kind of player to put up a buck 50 and a touchdown. A career day for him. I mean, he was killing this team, and a lot of it was against Terrence Mitchell. And it's hard to fall. I'm not hating on Terrence Mitchell. I mean, dude, what a tough situation. You're not playing football, and then you get called up, and then you get
thrown into a game.
Yeah, thrown into a game, start the game, and expect to pull your weight. And man, he was just getting drug all over the field. And now it makes me wonder what the coaching is like. If we're just signing guys off the street to replace Farley just to get torched, we might as well just play Caleb Farley anyway and just keep our fingers crossed that he gets some experience and develops that way. I don't know if that could hinder him more so mentally with the mental aspect and just really shatter his confidence. But whatever's going on with him, hopefully it gets corrected, because we spent high draft capital on him. And, and he's that big body, lanky kind of corner. And I see that 2-point conversion, or no, there was the touchdown before the 2-point conversion, where it was just a one-on-one jump ball. Dude, I bet you if that's Caleb Farley guarding, I bet he breaks up that pass. He's like a 6'2" corner, and he's big bodied, and he can contest those kind of passes. And I mean, you saw Mitchell, he was watching it the whole way, and there was like nothing he could do. He was just completely outmatched. And Derek Carr threw up a great jump ball for him. But I bet Caleb Farley makes that play, to be honest with you, even if he has struggled up to this point in his career. But with the defense as a whole, though, we got gashed here and there. But you know what? I look at the third downs, and I think it was the best third down ratio that the defense has put on since Mike Vrabel was the coach. They went 1 for 12. But, dude, what kind of ruined that was their 3 for 3 on fourth downs, man. We couldn't stop them.
That was a brutal final drive to watch the Raiders convert, I believe, 3 fourth downs on that final drive, and they were all significant in distance. I feel like all of them were fourth and more than 5 at least, and more than 10 in a couple instances.
Just close it out. I feel like if they knock down one of those passes or stop them from one of those conversions and give the ball back to the offense, we run out the clock, Titans win 24-16. We're probably having a little bit of a different conversation about the defensive performance overall.
Absolutely.
I thought, they played well, held them to 10 points in the first half and another field goal in the third quarter before they, made their comeback attempts. So, overall, up and down, but I think this was a good performance. And it's hard to say, because at the same time, I think our offense could have done a whole lot more to put them in better positions in the second half. So, it's just we need a complete game. This team is still just working out kinks here and there. And right as we get momentum, whether if it's in the beginning of the game, usually it is at the beginning of the game. Another stat that people are throwing out: second half points, Titans are outscored 57-7 in the second half. So, I mean, it's not sustainable. Obviously, this type of football has gotten us to 1-2 on the season. So hopefully this is something that we can build on. Totally. So I don't know, that's a ranty kind of take there, but good things to see out of the defense. But obviously you want to see them close out the game and not give up 4th and 15 bombs to third, fourth option Mac Hollins, having a career day.
I thought you put it really well, Justin. The defense did play a good game. I guess I kind of came out the gates a little bit against the defense, just because that second half comeback, and we've seen it within the Giants game, and we've seen it in this one. I think back to the Derrick Henry quote, week 1, it shouldn't have come down to a Randy Bullock field goal. And in this game, it shouldn't have come down to a Raiders 2-point conversion attempt. It really shouldn't have. And it was like watching the Giants game all over again. The Titans had a double-digit lead going into half, and there were so many opportunities for the Titans. If they go down and score a touchdown, like, this game is kind of wrapped up, go put them away. Yep. We talked about this a ton last season even. It feels like as Titans fans, we cannot watch just a relaxing second half of football, no matter what our lead is, because we'll find some way to blow it. The offense will go dead, or the defense will get hit by Mac Hollins for $150. And there's so many opportunities for this offense to put the kill shot and put it away. And why they can't do that is a great question. I saw a stat that Derrick Henry has 7 rushing yards in the fourth quarter through 3 games.
Oof.
That is his bread and butter. That's Derrick Henry time. Why can't, he had gashing runs in the first half and even gashing runs into the second quarter. Why can't we get Derrick Henry moving and pick up a couple first downs in the fourth quarter? Go for that kill shot. And it's just, and Treylon Burks, 1 reception. I keep bringing up Treylon Burks in the total offensive performance. 1 catch, 13 yards, which, almost was a touchdown. And then they gave him the jet sweep, 1 rushing attempt. We need to get Treylon Burks the ball more than 2 times. And I think that is just.
He literally dropped the ball too. I mean, he had that bad drop.
Yes, you're right.
That could have converted to a first down in the second half. That would have really helped, salt the game away. But that failed attempt. And was that a 4th down? We did turn the ball on downs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was it, man. And that was a 4th and 4 too. I wasn't a huge fan of the play call. I think the Titans were just desperate to try to run down the clock,
close it out. Yeah.
And then there was another 3rd and short, and then we handed it to Henry at midfield, who got stuffed. That I was having flashbacks of the Bengals playoff game, because it looked like the exact same part of the field where we couldn't get a crucial yard, on a 3rd and short situation. It's just this inability to extend a drive, and then and it's hard to so some player performance is at fault, and so it's not, you can't just throw the blame on Downing. I know he's the fan favorite to throw under the bus whenever the offense isn't performing, but I'm looking at the drives in the second half, and we only had the ball 4 possessions, so that's not a lot of time, not a lot of times to possess the ball for an entire half. One of them being Tannehill. I thought he played well, but he again throws the ball directly to the defense.
Head scratching. Yeah, it's a head scratching interception always. It seems like he'll have games where he's throwing dots. And I thought Tannehill had a lot of good balls. He's had a lot of good thrown balls on the season, I thought. But there's always just the random head scratching, boom, right into a chest of a defender. I don't get it.
And he's like a 10 or 11 year vet, and he still has these plays. So that's just who he is. But I thought he played well. He made the throws. He could have, if Treylon Burks hauls that in, it would have helped salt the game away. But again, in the second half, so we turned the ball over on downs. That was second possession. Third possession, we punted after 6 plays. And the 4th and last possession was a 3 and out, which obviously gave the ball right back to the Raiders to march right down the field and score again. So the limited opportunities the Titans had in the second half with the offense, but they did not take advantage of those possessions. I saw a comment on Reddit, on the Titans subreddit, that was like the Titans, that they just love doing the exact bare minimum. Like they can't win going away. They put up 24 points and now we're just like, let's just sit on this. And if the Raiders catch up, great, we'll try to score points. But if not, then we're good. We'll sit at 24 points. That's probably enough to win. And luckily it barely was. So I would love to see a game where we keep the foot on the gas for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
It's puzzling. And you do bring up a great point. If Treylon Burks hauls in that 4th down catch, it was a tough catch, but I think, he should be able to haul that in.
A little behind him, but it hit him in the hands.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we're even having a different conversation about Titans' second half of offense if Treylon Burks can reel that in. And we're having a different conversation about this game because the Titans probably do put up more than 24 points in that instance because they were driving at that point. It's just put it away. Yeah, keep your foot on the gas. Put it away. I don't know why they struggle so much with that. And I even texted you on Sunday. We're just sitting around waiting to lose in these games. The offense looks great first half, and they looked great first half against the Giants. Maybe not great, but okay. And then it just seems like we just sit around and wait for the other team to come back. And now Tannehill's got to make a game-winning drive out of it. And you said it's not sustainable. It's not going to win many football games in the NFL, and the Titans are 1-2 probably because of that. I mean, take away obviously the Bills loss is kind of a complete wash at this point. But
Yeah.
I think the Titans really, really messed up not getting that week 1 win against the Giants. If the Titans are 2-1 right now and Randy Bullock makes that field goal and Traylon Burks catches the ball, there's 2 plays that just the Titans fan base is going to feel a lot better about this team moving forward. And I guess speaking of moving forward, Justin,
yeah,
there's a lot bigger games on the horizon. We can't really worry about the 0-3 Raiders anymore. We can't worry about the Giants. The Giants lost week 1, and we sure as hell can't worry about Buffalo's beatdown, because this team needs to find a way to, at the very least, win 2 out of their next 3 games. I think Washington in 2 weeks is a must win, and you're looking right down the pipe of a trip to Indianapolis on Sunday, Justin.
Ooh, it's already here.
Yeah, it's already here. I don't know. What is your confidence level going into a very crucial divisional matchup with the Colts, who have sputtered out of the gate, but man, they put it together and were able to beat Kansas City in a slugfest of a game.
Unbelievable.
This is going to be an interesting matchup come Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, will the real Indianapolis Colts please stand up? The same thing with the Titans. Well, what team is this? Is this the first half team against the Raiders or the second half team against the Raiders? I don't know, Jake, to answer your question, what to make of the Colts and going into that matchup this week. I mean, they're certainly beatable. Obviously, they are not the overwhelming AFC South favorite. Some people had them as a Super Bowl contender coming into the season. They are not that team, as evidenced 24-0 against the Jaguars a week ago and tying against Houston. And we said it before we came on, Jacksonville, isn't a pushover. These aren't your
Urban Meyer Jaguars.
Yeah, your Urban Meyer Jaguars. I was going to say these aren't your grandfather's Jags or your father's Jags, but they've always been these Jags. These aren't your omnipresent Jags. This team looks like it's very competent and can and will beat maybe any team on any given Sunday. I mean, they just throttled the Chargers on the road. Everybody's favorite out of the AFC. Everybody's favorite dark horse in the LA Chargers, but these Colts bounce right back and beat the Kansas City Chiefs, everyone's other favorite in the AFC. They've been the perennial AFC favorite at home, and it's just a huge win to just get their confidence back right as a huge divisional game comes knocking on their door. So bad timing for them to beat the Chiefs. As they're feeling good about themselves. So it's going to be, I'm expecting a competitive bloodbath. I don't think these teams like each other very much, honestly. I think we feel the divisional, rivalry with the Colts in recent years, because it's been us and them at the top the past several years. So, I think the stakes are high, obviously, and the players know that. And it's going to be an interesting game. That's for sure. And it's hard to know what to expect, because these teams, both of them, have just been so inconsistent. But that's next. And like you said, I mean, we gotta at least split with the Colts. I mean, if we can win all 3, if we can sweep the Colts and beat the Commanders on the road, season is completely back on track, and expectations should be back. And hopefully that means this team has worked out a lot of their kinks if we're able to rip off a few of these wins coming up here. So the season restarts really on Sunday. I mean, probably the biggest. Yeah, I mean, we say it every week, this is the biggest game of the year, but it really does feel like this could launch the season back on track, or just kind of put us further into a hole that may be insurmountable to climb out of.
Definitely.
2-2 looks way better than 1-3. It puts you in way better position. So
especially with a division win under your belt, Justin. And I'll raise you that I feel like the Titans have, even though it came down to a 2-point conversion against Vegas, I feel like the Titans gained a little bit of confidence. And I think there was one player in particular who gained a lot of confidence, which is going to be massive for the Titans down the stretch. Derrick Henry played his best game we've seen since the Kansas City game last season in Nissan Stadium, right before we went to Indy, and he got hurt. That's the best we've seen Derrick Henry play in almost a calendar year, Justin, and it was refreshing and beautiful to see. Now, obviously, 20 carries, 85 yards, 1 touchdown doesn't pop off the page, but that's a 4.2 average. And we saw Derrick Henry put his foot in the ground and get going north and south again. I just wanted to see him move that quickly again across my TV. You know, it sounds really specific and odd to say, but I just wanted to see him run at full speed. And we finally saw that for the first time this season. And also, they got him involved in the passing game. He had 5 catches for 58 yards. Obviously, that first screen pass that they had set up for him in the first drive of the game. We need to get 22, more involved and more production out of 22, I should say, because he's going to get his touches, obviously. And I feel like it's two sides of the same coin. I complain that Derrick Henry gets the ball 30 times a game and we don't throw to Treylon Burks, but also you just need to get more production out of those touches. And I felt like our run blocking has been terrible and Derrick Henry has little to no confidence in the pass game, but getting those touches to him and seeing them produce yardage, chunk plays, what this offense desperately needed. It was great to see the King, Derrick Henry, get back into the swing of things. And hopefully he's licking his lips with this Indianapolis Colts matchup coming around the bend, because I know he didn't get all of what he wanted last season.
Yeah, maybe he's coming in with a chip on his shoulder, like this is the place where my season ended last year. I gotta show them what's up now that my foot has all bones functioning properly again. But like you said, maybe the 85 yards and touchdown, workman-like, but doesn't jump off the page. But the receiving stats do jump off the page. 5 catches, 58 yards. Who is this, Alvin Kamara out here? Catching passes out of the backfield. He was second on our team. He was first on our team in receptions with 5 and second in yards, only to Robert Woods' 85 yards. And let's give a special shout out, man, to Robert Woods. I feel like this could have really been his kind of coming out party per se. Again, not crazy numbers, but 4 catches for 85 yards and a beautiful long 41-yard completion from Tannehill. And also popped off the screen with that punt return right before the first half ended. That put us in great position to kick a field goal there at the end. I think I got that.
Yeah, absolutely.
In terms of him setting us up for the field goal. But dude, I don't know. He to me, he's emerging as a player that we can kind of lean on and rely on. He's dependable, great route runner, great hands. It seems like a guy that if we need a play to happen, we can look to him and he'll come down with it and keep the chains going or whatever, provide a spark for the offense. And is he going to be our punt returner now, Jake? That is a lot to put on a player to be,
especially a vet.
How many teams have their top receivers as also their punt returner? We've tried 2 other guys and it hasn't worked out with Kyle Phillips and Amani Hooker there briefly in Buffalo. Mm-hmm. I feel like we're going to throw Kyle Phillips back out there because he did do a lot of punt returning in college, and maybe it's just the rookie yips that's caused him to muff or lose two punts, putting him on the ground. So we'll see. But I was very encouraged to see Robert Woods being a lot more involved on special teams too, not just the offense.
Absolutely. I'm glad you brought that up. That was another thing I was, we haven't seen Derrick Henry produce since the injury really. And, Robert Woods is getting up there in age, especially at a skill position, and he tore his ACL last year. We hadn't seen Robert Woods produce, so it was just an encouraging day for the Titans offense. You saw the chunk plays come back. You saw the gashing Derrick Henry runs come back, put it on in the second half.
Real quick, another chunk play. How about Dontrell Hilliard coming back? He only had the 1 catch, but got us out of a bad field position deep in our own territory. And you can see how quick he is. If we can put him in there and he can make a quick just play happen that kind of catches the defense off balance. I think he turned around Jonathan Abrams, number 24, the safety, and got the edge against him. And I think it was like, oh God, this is not Derrick Henry. This dude can move just, with a snap of a finger. Mm-hmm. And so catching their defense on their heels a little bit, being able to convert there. Huge 30-yard chunk play from Hilliard. So again, with the chunk plays, great to see him
absolutely back. Yeah, we even cracked the joke. It's huge to get our number 1 receiver back. Hilliard, even despite missing the Buffalo game, still might be our leading receiver in yardage.
It's true.
We'll have to double check that. But just kind of putting a stamp on the Raiders game. Relief, Justin. I feel relief. I don't even care that there's a lot of flaws and a lot of things to point out about this Titans team that still needs fixing. I just needed to get in the win column. And I say that like I'm on the field, but this Titans squad just needed to get in the win column. It felt like they needed that confidence boost, especially going into a portion of your schedule where, you have at Indy, at the Commanders, and then you have your bye week, and then you flip back and play the Colts again at home. This is a very, very crucial stretch for this team. To get healthy. We mentioned how banged up the defense is. Let's get some guys back. Let's get our actual starting defense back on the field. And two, get a division win or two under your belt. If you can sweep the Colts, you said it. The season is right back on track, right where we thought we would be. Other than scratch the Giants loss, and then I'm just actively trying to forget about the Buffalo game. I'm not going to
quit bringing it up, Jay.
From here on out. I keep bringing it up.
The third time we brought it up, and it's just this nightmare inducing. But yeah, and speaking of injuries, did we come out of that game clean? I don't remember a player getting hurt, which is fantastic. I know Christian Fulton came out because that's when Caleb Farley got his one defensive snap in the game. But obviously Christian Fulton returned. But yeah, man, I'm encouraged to get a win in the win column and just another opportunity on Sunday to really right the ship here. And what better way to do it? And I mean, and it's not just the Colts, but it's our Colts road game. So it's just that much tougher and that much more important and huge if we can go in there and get a win and then be able to go for the sweep back here in Nashville. Like what, three weeks later,
after a bye week, even, Mike Vrabel's teams have been really good after a bye, really good after extra time. So it's a very crucial partner schedule. And I feel like these are winnable games that the Titans would love to have in their belt and just be done with, get the season back on track and get to be the football team we thought we would see out of the Titans this season. Regarding the Raiders game, Justin, do you have anything to take us to the barn other than that? Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz?
All that jazz? Maybe subscribe if you enjoy our content and really think we do a bang up job talking about this team. I mean, it is. We are filming this on a Tuesday, so it's kind of at that transition part where a lot of people have said what they wanted to say and gotten what they wanted to get out of the Raiders game and the reaction and recaps and kind of looking forward to the Colts game. We'll have a Colts preview and getting a little bit more in depth with that game. But as far as the Raiders goes, I think we can put a bow on it. Very up performance in the first half, which came down in the second half. So up and down, but all you can do is look forward at this point. And we're a 1-2 football team. With perhaps the biggest challenge and biggest game of the season against the Colts, and then Washington, and then a bye, and then the Colts again. So boom, this is it. I mean, if we want to make something of this season, we got to do it now. And I'm so glad. If you asked me who do you want to play after a bye week, I would say probably the Colts at home in a huge game. These are our biggest division rivals, and so I think we lucked out with the NFL scheduling. Giving us a home game after a bye, giving us the Colts coming to town. So hopefully that benefits us there. But yeah, huge stretch coming up, and it starts on this Sunday, Jake, against our hated rivals, the Matt Ryan-led coach.
Insert quarterback rentals name here, led Colts team. That's
maybe should have just said Jonathan Taylor. He's probably he's going to be there for the Jonathan Taylor Colts, who has given lots of NFL defenses troubles, including the Titans in recent years. So yes, excited for that game. Excited for breaking that game down with you, Jake, in the coming days. So look for that.
Definitely tune into the preview. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. No question mark this time. Tighten up. Great to get a win. Peace out, everybody.
Peace out. Tighten up.